at 8, live from Wisdom Yard Television. I am Odunwayo Adelere. Here are the news headlines. It's unconstitutional, reckless. Peter Obi condemns emergency rule in Rivers. APC defends emergency rule in Rivers, blames Fubara. Now the news in details. The 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has criticized President Bola Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State, describing it as unconstitutional and reckless. Obi accused Tinubu of disregarding rule of law and showing a dangerous willingness to trample on democracy. The declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State is not just reckless, it's a clear attempt to return us to a state of nature and tighten its grip on power at all costs. It has plunged us back into a state of lawlessness, hugely undoing the progress we have made in these 26 years of democratic journey. It is a degrading backdoor imposition of martial rule on a strategic part of the Federation, with all the implied negatives, Obi said in a statement on Wednesday via X. Obi asserted that the political situation in Rivers does not justify the emergency rule and the suspension of Governor Similai Fubara, his deputy and state lawmakers, adding that the action is also a biased interpretation of Section 305 subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution. He said, a state of emergency does not mean an elected governor can be removed unilaterally. This decision does not align with democratic norms or good governance. Instead, it appears to be a predetermined action serving specific interests rather than the collective good of the people of Rivers State and Nigeria. This action constitutes an unconstitutional overreach, setting a dangerous precedent that threatens democracy, the rule of law, and the separation of powers. If left unchecked, it could foster a culture of impunity. Having already been grappled with non-adherence to electoral qualifications, rules and massive rigging, adding arbitrary removal of elected officials will push us to a state of nature and anarchy. Obi therefore appealed to the National Assembly and all stakeholders not to allow the emergency rule to stand, saying that the election will deepen the culture of impunity and threaten democracy. The All Progressives Congress has defended President Bola Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State, insisting that Governor Similai Fubara is solely responsible for the political crisis that led to the intervention. In a statement issued on Tuesday, APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Moka accused Fubara of dismantling democracy in the state, citing his demolition of the Rivers State House of Assembly and governance without legislative oversight as actions that render the state ungovernable. When he brazenly demolished the Rivers State House of Assembly, Fubara destroyed the very foundation of democracy in the state. When he governed the state without a legislature, Fubara ended government in the state. When he expanded state funds without valid legislative appropriation, Fubara stripped himself of all constitutional protections of the office of governor, the statement read. Moka argued that governance cannot function without the coexistence of the executive, legislative, and judicial arm, stressing that Fubara's action left the state in constitutional limbo. There cannot be a governor without a legislature and a judiciary. All three arms of government, although separate in their constitutional powers, must coexist in order to have a government known to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As the Supreme Court affirmed, there was no government in the state and there had not been a government since Fubara destroyed the state legislature, APC stated. The ruling party maintained that Tinubu's intervention was not only necessary, but constitutionally backed to restore governance and protect lives and properties in Rivers. By his reckless actions, Fubara asked for war and set the stage for this outcome. The declaration of a state of emergency by President Bola Tinubu was a necessary constitutional-backed measure to protect lives and property and extend governance to the good people of Rivers State. The safety and well-being of the people is paramount at this time and must triumph all political considerations, Moka declared. Reiterating its support for the president's decision, the APC hailed Tinubu for taking decisive action to prevent a total breakdown of law and order in the state. Again, President Tinubu has demonstrated courage and leadership in forestalling a looming breakdown of the law and order in the state, the statement concluded. Before the news comes to an end, here are the headlines once again. It's unconstitutional, reckless. Peter Obi condemns emergency rule in Rivers. APC defends emergency rule in Rivers, blames Fubara. Thank you for staying tuned. I am Odunwayo Adelere. Do have a lovely night rest.